It's a Wonderful Life was directed by Frank Capra and stars Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed, came out in 1946. And although it initially flopped at the box office, the film has eventually gained such a following that it's become a holiday tradition. It was nominated for a few Oscars. And just like A Christmas Story, the film plays every single Christmas now on television, and it's become something that's very special for a lot of families around the world. I didn't actually see this film when I was a kid, though, and it took me a while to see it for the first time. The first time I ever heard about It's a Wonderful Life was actually on the Batman animated series.
It's a Wonderful Life will not be seen this year. In its place is the following. Joker here. Greetings, Gotham, and Merry Christmas. I hope you're watching Batman. This one's for you.
The Christmas with the Joker episode was always one of my favorites. It was on this VHS tape that I had when I was a kid, and I had never seen It's a Wonderful Life at that point, and so I remember as the Joker referenced it, I thought to myself, oh, well, that must be like something special. If it's on the Batman show. That's, I was like 5 years old at the time. And the first time I saw it, I was over at a friend's house on some Christmas Eve, and I was channel surfing, and I came across probably the most intense part of the movie. It's the sequence where Jimmy Stewart is discovering that his life means nothing. His life has been taken away completely, and this angel has shown him what the world would be like without him. And he runs towards the screen into a close-up in this amazing performance, and I remember being hooked, and I thought to myself, this seems like a really damn good movie. I need to watch the whole thing. This film follows George Bailey, played by Stewart, and we first meet him as a young kid with a ton of dreams. As an adult, though, he's very frustrated in life because he's taken over his father's business. It's this loan company, and he's trying to help people in the town. He's getting people money when they need it. He's helping them find houses. He doesn't really realize how much good he's actually doing for the people in his life because to him, he's always wanted to travel. He's always wanted to go see the world. He has so many hopes and dreams, but he hasn't been able to accomplish any of them. And so despite all the good he's done in his life, he feels like he hasn't achieved what he wants to do. There's this business tycoon in the town named Potter who's the executive of these slums, and he's always taking money from people, and he's always trying to take over this business, but George Bailey doesn't let him. And so the town appreciates that, and the town loves him for that. But still, he feels like he doesn't have what he needs because he has all of these goals, despite the fact that he has a lovely wife and great kids. And so that part that I first saw when I was channel surfing when I was younger is when he decides that things aren't going so well for him in life and he feels the need to end his life. And an angel named Clarence is sent down to Earth to show him what life would be like if he had never existed. So the message behind the film, which has remained timeless, is that you should be happy with what you have. And sometimes it's easy to look past what's right in front of you and not accept your current situation and think that you don't have enough and that you're only ever going to be happy if you achieve other things in the future. And if you maintain that viewpoint throughout life, you'll probably never be fully happy because you're always trying to achieve something. And once you achieve it, it's like, what's the next thing? And I can totally understand that because that's actually the exact type of person that I am. I always feel like I have to do something better than what I've done before. And that's a good mentality. If you're an artist or someone who just really wants to work really hard, there's this drive to want to always be better than you were before. And that's positive. But if you take the viewpoint that George Bailey has, where your life is a complete and utter failure unless you are doing exactly what you want to do, well, then you're never going to be happy. And that's one of the reasons that I love this movie and why I find it so inspirational, because it actually does speak to me quite a bit. It's something that I feel very inspired by whenever I watch it, because by all accounts and purposes, I am not doing what I want to do right now. I'll just be totally real with you guys. I would love to be full-time directing movies. And right now I'm doing that completely part-time, and they're short films, and I'm submitting them to festivals right now, and I'm trying to get some note as a filmmaker, and I'm trying really hard to work on that. But full-time right now is movie reviews. I don't want to be doing that for the rest of my life, and that's the honest truth. But I shouldn't be unhappy because of that. I've garnered an amazing following of people that are watching this right now that I'm so grateful for. I have a wonderful wife and a family, and all of these things are things that I can be happy for. And it usually takes Christmas time and a movie like It's a Wonderful Life to remind me of that. And this is just me being totally real and transparent with you guys. And that's one of the reasons this movie is so special to me, because it is one of those few films that really does make me look at my life in retrospect. And I think it does that for a lot of people. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's so inspirational. So personal stuff aside, unlike a lot of films from the 40s, It's a Wonderful Life is really fast moving. Despite being over 2 hours, it really doesn't feel like that. The scenes move quick, and the actors are giving performances that feel real. They don't feel like those old 1930s, 1940s performances where everybody talk like this. I want to talk really fast. Hey, you owe me some money, and I'm going to get that money from you if it's the last thing I do. Like, no one in the movie talks like that. Everyone feels very real. Also, the set. Holy crap. This set is insane. It's one of the biggest sets ever at the time. It covered a few acres, actually. The set for this town, I was actually kind of blown away when I learned it was a set. I mean, they had so much to work with, so many buildings they could film, camera movements and things that they could set up within this set that made it such a realistic looking place. They used a new kind of snow in the film as well. At the time, cornflakes were mostly used for snow, but they didn't want to use cornflakes because it made a lot of noise. So they developed a new form of fake movie snow so they could record the sound live and they would have to do less ADR in post, which makes for better performances and more realistic audio. And these are all technical choices. This shows a great amount of planning and care that was given to this production, more so than just Jimmy Stewart or Donna Reed's great performances, or Frank Capra's great direction. This is really, really good filmmaking. There's been many times where I've heard of older films for years. They've been talked about, they've been voted really high on various lists, and then I see the film and I think, well, that was good, but I probably don't really feel like watching that again, or it just seems a little bit overrated. It's a Wonderful Life is one of the few that really doesn't feel that way to me. I think this is a timeless movie that people are going to enjoy watching and actually have a really good time watching with their families for continuing decades. I'm going to give It's a Wonderful Life an A+. It's been really fun to do this series with you guys and reflect back on some really great films and a couple not so great films that are famous for other reasons. This has been really, really nice, and thank you very much for taking this journey with me. I hope you enjoyed the series. I have new ideas for next year. I kind of want to do something that's not so locked down. Like, there's a lot of times where I feel like reviewing an older film and it's not part of any series or it's not related to any franchise that's coming out, and I don't have an excuse to review it. I might just take next year and just have each month be like some random older movie. It has nothing to do with anything coming out at the time. And I can cover some things I've always wanted to talk about on this channel. Guys, whatever you celebrate this time of year, even if it's just the fact that you're not having to go to work for a few days or school for a few days, I hope you have a good one. Thank you so much as always for watching, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.